Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatha Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shivishkam Vidam Scha Om Ajnana Timanandasya Gyanajana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gorva Bhistam Supurakam Guruganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Vidam Ujjalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwa Guruncha Divyat Bhagavad Premna Vibijapradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandabananam Balarka Chilanshitam Sandrananda Puram Sareka Bananam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Mandetam Shubhadam Madeka Sharanam Yashishvara Shridaram Manshakopatarubyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabharanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Adi-lila, Chapter 5, The Glories of Lord Nityananda Balaram. So we'll start with verse number 116. What's that sound?
Some blower or something?
Seems like it's coming from the road, maybe.
Yeah,
it must
I
be
think
some.
there's a truck backing up.
Okay.
Maybe even a tree with that.
I'll start with text number 116. Ciento días y seis. Okay. Se Vishnu hoy jara amsham shara amsha se Prabhu Nityananda sarva avatamsha. That Lord Vishnu, or Lord Vishnu, is but a part of a plenary portion of Lord Nityananda, who is the source of all incarnations. Se Vishnu se Shrupe Dharana Dharani Jache Mahishire Hinanahi Jani. That same Lord Vishnu in the form of Lord Sesha holds the planets upon his heads, although he does not know where they are, for he cannot feel their existence upon his heads. Sahasra Vistirna Jara Vanara Mandala Surya Jini Manigana Kori Jalamala. His thousands of extended hoods are adorned with dazzling jewels surpassing the sun. Panchashad Koti Yojan Prithvi Vistar Jara Ek Fani Rahe Sarshapa Akar. The universe, which measures 500 million yojans in diameter, rests on one of his hoods like a mustard seed. Seta Ananda Sesh Bhaktavatar Ishwarer Sevabina Nahi Janiyar. That Ananta Sesh is the devotee incarnation of Godhead. He knows nothing but service to Lord Krishna. So here's another term that's used. Sometimes we'd hear Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the mood of which comes from Sri Balaram is, you could say, is the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. Because The nature of Baladev is as a servant of Krishna, and that is the mood of Sri Nityananda Prabhu as a servant of Lord Chaitanya. So when he was asked to spread the chanting of the holy names, say the Maha Mantra, he gave preference to spreading the chanting of Lord Gauranga's holy names. Sahasrabhadane Kore Krishna Gunagan Nirabadi Gunagana Antanahibhan. With his thousands of mouths, he sings the glories of Lord Krishna, but although he always sings in that way, he does not find an end to the qualities of the Lord. So who's being described here is Lord Ananta Sesha. Sanakari Bhagavat Shune Jaramuke Bhagavaner Gunakohe Bashe Premasuke. The four Kumaras hear Srimad Bhagavatam from his lips, and they in turn repeat it in the transcendental bliss of love of Godhead. Chatra Paruka Shaya Upahanam Vasan. Chatra Paruka Shaya Upadana Basan Arama Abasha Yagya Sutra Simasana. He serves Lord Krishna, assuming the following forms: umbrella, slippers, bedding, pillow, garments, resting chair, residence, sacred thread, and throne. Etamurti Beda Kore, Krishna Seva Kore, Krishna Sheshata Paya Sesha Namadari. He is thus called Lord Sesha, for he has attained the ultimate end of servitude to Krishna. He takes many forms for the service of Krishna, and thus he serves the Lord. Seta Ananta Jara Kohe Ekala Hena Prabhu Nityananda Kejani Tarakela. That person of whom Lord Ananta is a kala, or part of a plenary part, is Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who therefore can know the pastimes of Lord Nityananda. Esa Pramani Jani Nityananda Tattvasima Tahake Ananta Kohe Etara Mahima. From these conclusions we can know the limit of the truth of Lord Nityananda. But what glory is there in calling him Ananta? Atava Bhaktera Bhakyamani Satya Gori Sakala Sambhave Tate Jati Avatari. But I accept it as truth because it is said by devotees. Since he is the source of all incarnations, everything is possible in him. So sometimes there, in different scriptures or in different references to different devotees, they'll say that that Nityananda Prabhu is perhaps an incarnation of Lord Ananta, but we're accepting Nityananda as an incarnation of Balaram because ultimately we look to the conclusion of Krishnadas Kaviraj as authentic. But other persons may have some varying opinion, but we're not so much interested in that. We understand that when the Lord comes to this earth, as all the incarnations are also present, because one example you can give, if you have $1 million, then you have 100,000, you have 1,000. So all denominations are there. So, but we're accepting the conclusion of Krishnadas Kaviraj that Nityananda Prabhu is the first expansion of Krishna, and he's non-different from Balaram. Avatari Abed Jai Jani Purve Jaiche Krishna Ke Keho Kaho Korimane. They know that there is no difference between the incarnation and the source of all incarnations. Previously, Lord Krishna was regarded in the light of different principles by different people. Keho Kohe Krishna Sakat Narayan, Keho Kohe Krishna Hoy Sakat Vamana. Some said that Krishna was directly Lord Narayan, and some called him Lord Vamanadev incarnate. Keokohe Krishna Kshirodakashayi Avatar Asambhavanahe Satya Vachana Sambar. Some call Lord Krishna an incarnation of Lord Kshirodakashayi. All these names are true and nothing is impossible. Krishna Jabe Avatare Sarvamsha Ashray Sarvamsha Asitabe Krishnete Miloi. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna appears, he is the shelter of all plenary parts. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna appears, he is the shelter of all plenary parts. Thus, at that time, all his plenary portions join in him. Jai Jai Rupe Jani Se Taha Kohe Sakala Sambhave Krishna Kichu Mityanahe. In whatever form one knows the Lord, one speaks of him in that way. In this there is no falsity, since everything is possible in Krishna. Ateva Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gosai Sarva Vatara Lila Koris Sabare Dekai. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is exhibited to everyone, all the pastimes of all the various incarnations. Erupe Nityananda Nanda Prakash Sebhave Kohe Mui Chaitanya Radash. Thus, Lord Nityananda has unlimited incarnations. In transcendental emotion, he calls himself a servant of Lord Chaitanya. Kabu Guru Kabu Saka Kabu Britya Lila Purvijena Tina Babe Braje Koila Kela. Sometimes he serves Lord Chaitanya as his guru, sometimes as his friend, and sometimes as his servant, just as Lord Balaram played with Lord Krishna in these three different moods in Braja. Sometimes as a guru, sometimes as a friend, and sometimes as a servant. And Balaram's, of course, the elder brother of Krishna, so sometimes he's his guru, sometimes he's taking care of his younger brother, sometimes he's relating with Krishna as a intimate friend, and sometimes he's serving Krishna. But that is his mood. He's a servitor of the Lord. Vrisha Hoya Krishna Sane Matya Materan Kabu Krishna Koritara Parasambahan. Playing like a bull, Lord Balaram fights with Krishna head to head, and sometimes Lord Krishna massages the feet of Lord Balaram. Apanake Britya Kore Krishna Prabhu Jane Krishnera Kalara Kala Apanake Mane. He considers himself a servant and knows Krishna to be his master. Thus he regards himself as a fragment of his plenary portion. Vrisha Yamano Nardanto Yuyodate Parasparam. Vrishayamano Nardanto Yuyudate Parasparam Anukritya Ruktar Jantums Sheratu Prakritoyata. Acting just like ordinary boys, they played like roaring bulls as they fought each other, and they imitated the calls of various animals. Vachit Krida Parish Rantam Gopot Sango Pabarhanam Swayam Vishramai Yat Yaryam Para Samvahanadivi. Sometimes when Lord Krishna's elder brother, Lord Balaram, felt tired after playing and lay his head on the lap of a cowherd boy, Lord Krishna himself served him by massaging his feet. Kayamba Kuta Ayata Daiviva Nari Utasuri Prayo Mayastu Me Bartur Nanya mepi vimohini. Who is this mystic power, and where has she come from? Is she a demigod or a demoness? She must be the illusory energy of my master, Lord Krishna, for who else can bewilder me? The playful pastimes of the Lord caused suspicion in the mind of Lord Brahma, and therefore Lord Brahma, to test Krishna's lordship, stole all the Lord's calves and cowherd boys with his own mystic power. Sri Krishna responded, however, by replacing all the calves and boys in the field. Lord Balaram's thought of astonishment at such wonderful retaliation are recorded in this verse. Yashyangri Pankaja Rajo Kila Lokapalar Moli Uttamar Dhritam Upasita Tirta Tirtam Brahma Bhavoham Api Yasha Kala Kalaya Srischodvahema Chiram Asya Nripasanam Kwa. What is the value of a throne to Lord Krishna? The masters of the various planetary systems accept the dust of his lotus feet on their crowned heads. That dust makes the holy places sacred, and even Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lakshmi, and I myself, who are all portions of his plenary portion, eternally carry that dust on our heads. When the Kauravas, to flatter Baladev so that he would become their ally, spoke ill of Sri Krishna, Lord Baladev became angry and spoke this verse. What is the value of a throne to Lord Krishna? The masters of the various planetary systems accept the dust of his lotus feet on their crowned heads. That dust makes the holy places sacred, and even Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lakshmi, and I myself, who are all portions of his plenary portions, eternally carry that dust on our heads. Ekale Ishvara Krishna Arasa Britya Jare Jaiche Nachai Se Taiche Kore Nritya. Lord Krishna alone is the supreme controller, and all others are his servants. They dance as he makes them do so. Emata Chaitanya Gosai Ekale Ishvar Arasab Parishad Keho Vakinkar. Thus Lord Chaitanya is also the only controller. All others are his associates or servants. Guru Varga Nityananda Dvaita Acharya Srivasadiara Jata Lagu Sama Arya Sabe Parishad Sabe Lilara Sahai Saba Loya Nidjakarya Shadhe Gorarai. His elders, such as Lord Nityananda, Dvaitacharya, and Srivas Thakur, as well as his other devotees, whether as juniors, equal, or superiors, are all his associates who help him in his pastimes. Lord Gauranga fulfills his aims with their help. Advaitacharya Nityananda Dui Anga Dui Jana Loya Prabhur Jatakachuranga. Sri Advaitacharya and Srila Nityananda Prabhu are the plenary parts of the Lord. Sri Advaitacharya and Srila Nityananda Prabhu, who are plenary parts of the Lord, are his principal associates. With these two, the Lord performs his pastimes in various ways. Advaitacharya Gosai Sakadishwar Prabhu Guru Kori Mane Tehota Kinkar. Lord Advaitacharya is directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Lord Chaitanya accepts him as his preceptor, Advaitacharya is a servant of the Lord. So from Balaram on, all the expansions, whether they be plenary portions of the Lord or in the position of separated portions of the Lord. Like jivas, they're all consider themselves to be servants of the Lord. So that mood comes from Balaram. Acharya Gosara Tattva Najai Katan Krishnavatari Jeho Tarila Bhuvan. I cannot describe the truth of Advaita Acharya. He has delivered the entire world by making Lord Krishna descend. Nityananda Swarup Purve Hoya Lakman Lagu Brata Hoya Kore Ramera Sevan. Because it was Advaita Acharya who worshipped the Lord with Tulsi and Ganga Jal and who prayed for the Lord to descend. So therefore we have this statement. I cannot describe the truth of Advaita Acharya. He has delivered the entire world by making Lord Krishna descend. That Lord Krishna descended as Lord Chaitanya. Nityananda Swarup Purve Hoya Lakman Lagu Brata Hoya Kore Ramera Sevan. Lord Nityananda Swarup formerly appeared as Lakshman and served Lord Ramachandra as his younger brother. Ramera Charitra Sab Dukera Karan Swatantra Lilaya Duka Sahena Lakman. The activities of Lord Rama were full of suffering, but Lakshman, of his own accord, tolerated that suffering. So, because Lakshman was the younger brother of Lord Rama, and Lord Ramachandra was very, he was very determined in his vows to satisfy the will of his father, his father had been influenced by Kaikeyi and he was banished to the forest, and someone has suggested, well, you can have someone as your representative be banished to the forest. You don't have to do this personally. But Lord Ramachandra said, no, if I've inherited the kingdom, the inheritance of my father, then I must also inherit his debts. So if he had some debt to Kaikeyi, to my stepmother, then I will also pay that debt. And he went into the forest in exile. And at the same time, who later is that personality who is Lord Balaram. In this case, he was Lakshman. He was a younger brother of Ramachandra, and the younger brother is more subservient to the Lord. He has to execute his instructions. So that personality decided in the pastimes of Lord Krishna to come as the elder brother, to come as Balaram. That way, he doesn't have to, silently, be put in a position where he has to witness so many difficulties that his brother will undergo, and he can't do anything about him because he's a junior. In this case, as Lord Balaram, he was more determined to mitigate some of the austerities and sufferings that Lord Krishna would have to endure. So, Nisheda Korite Nare Jate Chotabai Monadori Rohe Lakman Manidukapai. As the younger brother, he could not stop Lord Rama from his resolution. And so he remained silent, although unhappy in his mind. Krishnavatare Jeshta Hoya Sevarakaran Krishna Ke Karaila Nana Sukha Ashwadan. When Lord Krishna appeared, he, Balaram, became his elder brother to serve him to his heart's content and make him enjoy all sorts of happiness. So how could he be before a younger brother? Now he comes as Lord Krishna's older brother, Balaram. How can he become an older brother? By appearing first. That makes him an older brother. Rama Lakman Krishna Rama Amsha Vishesh. As Lord Nityananda came his senior to Krishna. Rama Lakman Krishna Rama Amsha Vishesh Avatara Kale Dohe Dohate Pravesh. Sri Rama and Sri Lakshman, who are plenary portions of Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram respectively, entered into them at the time of Krishna's and Balaram's appearance. With reference to the Vishnu Dharmottara, the Laghu Bhagavatamrita explains that Rama is an incarnation of Vasudeva, Lakshman is an incarnation of Sankarshan, Bharata is an incarnation of Pradyumna, and Shatrugna is an incarnation of Aniruddha. The Padma Purana describes that Ramachandra is Narayan and that Lakshman, Bharata, and Shatrugna are respectively Sesha, Chakra, and Shankha, the conch shell in the hand of Narayan. In the Rama Gita of the Skanda Purana, Lakshman, Bharata, and Shatrugna have been described as the triple attendants of Lord Rama. So there are different positions stated by different authors, but ultimately we're more in tune with the conclusions of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we will accept the Siddhanta given by the Chaitanya Charitamrita as final. Sayamsha loya jeshta kanishta abhiman amsham si rupe shastre koraye vyakyan. Krishna and Balaram present themselves as younger brother and elder brother, but in the scriptures they are described as the original Supreme Personality of Godhead and as expansion. Ramari Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtan Nanavataram Akarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramapumanyo Govindamari Parusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is by his various plenary I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who by his various plenary portions appears in the world in different forms and incarnations, such as Lord Rama, but who personally appears in his supreme original form as Lord Krishna. This is a quotation from the Brahma Samhita. Sri Chaitanya say Krishna Nityananda Ram Nityananda Purnakori Chaitanya Rakam. Lord Chaitanya is the same Lord Krishna and Lord Nityananda is Lord Balaram. Lord Nityananda fulfills all of Lord Chaitanya's desires. Nityananda Mahima Sindhu Ananda Par Ekana Sparshi Matra Se Kripa Tahar. The ocean of Lord Nityananda's glories is infinite and unfathomable. Only by his mercy can I touch even a drop of it. Arek Shunatara Kripara Mahima Arama Jivere Adi-lila Urdhvasima. Please listen to another glory of his mercy. He made a fallen living entity climb to the highest limit. So now we're going to hear a pastime involving Krishnadas Kaviraj himself. And we can remember that in the Chaitanya Bhagavat that Vrindavandas Thakur clearly states that he is a devotee or a disciple of Lord Nityananda. He states that over and over again, so we know that. But here also we'll hear about Krishnadas Kaviraj, how he states that he is indebted also for the Chaitanya Charitamrita and everything to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Vedaguya kata I ayogya kohite tatabe kohi etara kripa prakashite. To disclose it is not proper, for it should be kept as confidential as the Vedas. Yet I shall speak of it to make his mercy, the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, known to all. Ulasu paril lekon tomara prasad Nityananda Prabhu mora kama aparad. O Lord Nityananda, I write of your mercy out of great exaltation. Please forgive me for my offenses. Avaduta Gosar Ek Pritya Premadam Minaketu Ramadas Hoy Taranam. Lord Nityananda Prabhu had a servant named Sri Minaketan Ramdas, who was a reservoir of love. Amara Aloye Aho Ratna Sankirtan Tahate Ailate Ho Payan Nimantran. At my house there was Sankirtan day and night, and therefore he visited there, having been invited. So now Minaketan Ramdas is visiting where Krishnadas Kaviraj is staying. At my house there was Sankirtan day and night, and therefore he visited there, having been invited. Mahaprema Moyatiho Masila Angane Sakala Vaishnavatara Mandila Charane. Absorbed in emotional love, he sat in my courtyard, and all the Vaishnavas bowed down at his feet. Namaskara korite kara uparete chare preme kore bamshi mare kahake chapade. In a joyful mood of love of God, he sometimes climbed upon the shoulder of someone offering obeisances, and sometimes he struck others with his flute or mildly slapped them. This kind of behavior is typical of cowherd boys, and Minaketan Ramdas is an incarnation, is a cowherd boy. He's an associate of Lord Balaram. He's servitor of Lord Balaram. In a joyful mood of love of God, he sometimes climbed upon the shoulder of someone offering obeisances, and sometimes he struck others with his flute or mildly slapped them. E nayana dekite ashru hoimanijar se netre abhichina bahi ashrudar. When someone saw the eyes of Minaketan Ramdas, tears would automatically flow from his own eyes, for a constant shower of tears flowed from the eyes of Minaketan Ramdas. Kabu kana ange deki pulaka kadamba ek ange jadyatara ara ange kampa. Sometimes there are eruptions of ecstasy like kadamba flowers on some parts of his body, and sometimes one limb would be stunned while another would be trembling. Nityananda Bole Jabe Korana Hunkar Tahadeki Lokera Hoy Mahachamatkar. Whenever he shouted aloud the name Nityananda, the people around him were filled with great wonder and astonishment. So sometimes he would shout very loudly the name of Lord Nityananda. Gunarnava Mishranami Ek Vipra Arya Srimurti Nikate Teho Kore Seva Karya. One respectable Brahmin named Gunarnava Mishra was serving the deity. Angane Asiyateho Nakoila Sambash Tahadeke Krudahaya Bole Ramadas. When Minaketan was seated in the yard, this Brahmin did not offer him respect. Seeing this, Sri Ramdas became angry and spoke. Eta Dvatiya Sutta Roma Harshana Baladeva Dekije Nakoila Pratyudgama. Here I find the second Romaharshana Sutta, who did not stand to show honor when he saw Lord Balaram. By this, we know that Romaharshana Sutta didn't offer respects when Lord Balaram entered in the assembly, and ultimately Lord Balaram killed him with a blade of kusha grass, struck him with a blade of grass. So in the case of Minaketan Ramdas, he's saying that the priest Gunarnava Mishra is not showing him respect, but he doesn't take this as an insult directed at himself. He's not showing respect to me because he has no real appreciation for Nityananda Prabhu, who is non-different from Balaram. So therefore, he's like Ramaharshana Sutta, who didn't show respect for Balaram, and I find that Pujari here, Gunarnava Mishra, is not insulting me by not showing me proper respect, but he's insulting my master, Nityananda Prabhu. Eta bole nache gai koraye santosh, Krishna karya kore vipra na kore la rosh. After saying this, he danced and sang to his heart's content. But the Brahman did not become angry, for he was then serving Lord Krishna. Utsavante gelatiho Korea prasad mora brata sanitara kichu hoilavad. At the end of the festival, Meenakirtan Ramdas went away, offering his blessings to everyone. At that time, he had some controversy with my brother. So the controversy is continuing here. Sri Chaitanya Prabhu te Tara Sudrada Vishwas Nityananda Pratitara Vishwasabhas. My brother had firm faith in Lord Chaitanya, but only a dim glimmer of faith in Lord Nityananda. So persons didn't often understand Lord Nityananda because he's an avadut. He doesn't behave according to social conventions. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, his brother, had faith in Mahaprabhu, but he didn't have appreciation for Nityananda Prabhu. Ihajani Ramadasir Duka Hoilamani Tabeta Pratare Ami Korinu Martsane. Knowing that Sri Ramadas felt unhappy in his mind, I then rebuked my brother. Duibai Ektanu Samana Prakash Nityananda Namana Tomara Habe Sarvanash. These two brothers, I told him, are like one body. They are identical manifestations. If you do not believe in Lord Nityananda, you will fall down. You can't distinguish between Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. If you don't believe or you don't have faith in Lord Nityananda, you'll fall from your position. Ekete Vishwas Anyena Kora Saman Arda Kukuti Nyaya Tomara Praman. If you have faith in one but disrespect the other, your logic is like the logic of accepting a half of a hen. So this logic, which is called Arda Kukuti Nyaya, meaning accepting half of a hen means there is in consideration you're accepting part of the premise, but there's another equal part of the premise which you're rejecting. So it's like a person had a hen, and that this hen could lay golden eggs. So he liked the part of the hen that laid the golden eggs, but he didn't like the part of the hen that was always eating, gobble, gobble, gobble. So he thought, oh, I like the golden eggs, but I don't like the part that's always gobbling food, so I'll divide the hen in half, and I'll keep the part that lays the golden eggs and get rid of the half that's always eating. But obviously you can't do that. You can't. If you get rid of the half that's eating, the hen will die. So that's like Arda Kukuti Nyaya is like accepting half of a premise, but not, it's illogical. So Krishnadas says to his brother, Kim Vadohana Manina Hauta Prashad Eke Mani Arana Mani Emat Mata Banda. No, Kim Vadohana Manina Hauta Pasanda Eke Mani Arana Mani E Matabanda. It would be better to be an atheist by slighting both brothers than a hypocrite by believing in one and slighting the other. Kruda Hoya Bamshi Banga Bangi Chale, Ramadas, Takale, Amara, Bratara, Hoya Sarvanash. Now Sri Ramdas broke his flute in anger and went away, and at that time my brother fell down. So Chaitanya Ramdas was angry with Krishnadas Kaviraj's brother who didn't have faith in Lord Nityananda, and Krishnadas Kaviraj rebuked, scolded his brother that you're a hypocrite. How can you accept Lord Chaitanya but not Lord Nityananda? Eta kohila tara sevaka prabhav ara eko hetara dayaras sabhav. Thus Sri Ramdas broke his flute in anger and went away, and at that time my brother fell down. I have thus described the power of the servants of Lord Nityananda. Now I shall describe another characteristic of his mercy. Vaike Bhartsinu Mui Loya Eguna Seiratre Prabhu More Dila Darshana. That night Lord Nityananda appeared to me in a dream because of my good quality in chastising my brother. Naihati Nikate Jamatapur Namig Grama Taha Swapne Deka Dila Nityananda Ram. In the village of Jamatpur, which is near Naihati, Lord Nityananda appeared to me in a dream. So in that village, Jamatapur, Lord Nityananda appeared to Krishnadas Kaviraj in a dream. Dandavad hoyami padinu payate nijapada padma prabhu dilamora mate. I fell at his feet offering my obeisances, and he then placed his own lotus feet upon my head. Uta uta bolit more bole bar bar ute tara rupa deki hoinu chamatkar. Arise, get up, he told me again and again. Upon rising, I was greatly astonished to see his beauty. Shama chikana kanti prakanda sharira sakat kandarpa chache maha mala bira. So Nityananda, this is description, he had a glossy blackish complexion, and his tall, strong, heroic stature made him seem like Cupid himself. Svalita hastapara kamala nayan patita bastra shire pata bastra paridan. He had beautifully formed hands, arms, and legs, and eyes like lotus flowers. He wore a silk cloth with a silk turban on his head. Suvarna kundala barne, Suvarna kundala karne, sanangara vas vala, payate nupura baje, kante pushpamala. He wore golden earrings on his ears and golden armlets and bangles. He wore tinkling anklets on his feet and a garland of flowers around his neck. I'll read a few more verses here. Okay. Chandana lepita anga tilaka sustama mata gaja jini mata mantara payana. His body was anointed with sandalwood pulp, and he was nicely decorated with tilak. His movements surpassed those of a mad elephant. Oh, this is very good because before I leave tomorrow, I want to be able to finish this chapter. Koti Chandra, his body was anointed with sandalwood pulp. Nityananda's body was anointed with sandalwood pulp, and he was nicely decorated with tilak. His movements surpassed those of a manned elephant. Koti Chandra Jini Mukha Ujjvala Varan Dadimba Bij Samadanta Tambula Charvan. His face was more beautiful than millions upon millions of moons, and his teeth were like pomegranate seeds because of his chewing betel. Premimata Anga Dak. So betel makes everything red. Premimata Anga Dahina Bhame Dole Krishna Krishna Bolia Gambira Mola Bole. His body moved to and fro, right and left, for he was absorbed in ecstasy. He chanted Krishna, Krishna in a deep voice. Rangajasti Haste Dole Jina Matasima Charipashe Bediache Charanete Bringa. His red stick moved in his hand. He seemed like a maddened lion. All around the four sides of his feet were bumblebees. Parishad Ganideke Sabagopa Beshe Krishna Krishna Kohe Sabe Saprema Abeshe. His devotees dressed like coward boys surrounded his feet like so many bees and also chanted Krishna Krishna, absorbed in ecstatic love. Singhavamshi Bhajai Keho Keho Nachegai Sevaka Jogaya Tambula Chamara Dulai. Some of them played horns and flutes, and others danced and sang. Some of them offered betel nuts, and others waved chamara fans about him. Nityananda Sarupera Dekiya Vaibhav Kibarupa Guna Lila Alokika Sab. Thus I saw such opulence in Lord Nityananda Swarup. His wonderful form, qualities, and pastimes are all transcendental. Anande Vivalami Kichu Nahijani Tabehase Prabhu More Kahilena Bani. I was absorbed. I was overwhelmed with transcendental ecstasy, not knowing anything else. Then Lord Nityananda smiled and spoke to me as follows. Are Krishnadas Nakora Bhai Vrindavane Jahataha Sarva Labhya Hoy. O my dear Krishnadas, do not be afraid. Go to Vrindavan, for there you will attain all things. Etabole Prerila More Hatasani Diya Antardana Koila Prabhu Nijagana Loya. After saying this, he directed me toward Vrindavan by waving his hand. Then he disappeared with his associates. Morchita Hoya Mui Padinu Bhumite Swarup Banga Hoila Deki Hayache Prabhate. I fainted and fell to the ground. My dream broke, and when I regained consciousness, I saw that morning had come. Ki Dekin Nu Ki Shuninu Korye Vichar Prabhu Agya Hoila Brindavana Jaivar. I thought about what I had seen and heard and concluded that the Lord had ordered me to proceed to Vrindavan at once. Sekane Vrindavane Korinu Gaman Prabhora Kripate Suke Ainu Vrindavan. That very second I started for Vrindavan, and by his mercy I reached there in great happiness. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Nityananda Ram Jahara Kripate Painu Vrindavanadam. All glory to Lord Nityananda Balaram, by whose mercy I have attained shelter in the transcendental abode of Vrindavan. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Kripa Moy Jaha Hoite Painu Rupa Sanatana Shrai. All glory to the merciful Lord Nityananda, by whose mercy I have attained shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sanatan. Jahoite Painu Raghunatha Mahashai, Jahoite Painu Sri Swarupa Shrai. By his mercy I have attained the shelter of the great personality Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, and by his mercy I have found the refuge of Sri Swarup Damodar. Sanatana Kripaya Painu Bhaktira Siddhanta Sri Rupa Kripai Painu Bhakti Rasa Pranta. By the mercy of Sanatana Goswami, I have learned the final conclusion of devotional service And by the grace of Sri Rupa Goswami, I have tasted the highest nectar of devotional service. Jai Jai Nityananda Charanaravinda Jahoite Painu Sri Radha Govinda. All glory to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, by whose mercy I have attained Sri Radha Govinda. Jagai Madai Hoite Muise Papishta Purishara Kita Hoite Muise Lagishta. I'm more sinful than Jagai and Madai, and even lower than the worms in the stool. Moranama Shuni Jay Tara Punya Koi Moranama Loya Jay Tara Papa Koi. Anyone who hears my name loses the results of his pious activities. Anyone who utters my name becomes sinful. Emananir Grina More Keba Kripa Kore Ek Nityananda Binu Jagat Bitare. Who in this world but Nityananda could show his mercy to such an abominable person as me? So I'm going to stop here. Tomorrow we'll continue. And it's interesting that Krishnadas Kaviraj and also Vrindavan Thakur, they're depending on the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he said he got the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu because he went to Ekachakra and he prayed for the mercy. While he was there, he prayed for the mercy of Lord Nityananda, and Lord Nityananda answered him, I've already given you so much mercy, but you're not distributing it to others, so now you must take more responsibility. And from that time on, Guru Maharaj accepted the position of taking disciples and distributing the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So tomorrow we'll continue with our reading, finish the chapter, and that will be very nice, okay? Okay, now, I'll just stop this. Your mother's in the kitchen? Okay. She didn't hear that because I turned off the microphone. Just now because the kartals resonate too much in the microphone. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Jaravaya Maravaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shimari Sudan Giridhari Gopinada Maranama Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Karanabdhishayi Seva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vina Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Rasa Raguna Jai Saparikara Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Tilak Riha Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Sada Shri Shrimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Sada Shri Shrimad Srila Bhakti Raka Kshirodakashayi Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishoredas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namachar Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Shiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Prem Sago Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Vishvavarenya Srila Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vishvavarenya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Kushamashram Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Ram Mayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Shriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Kuladvip Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Sokel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Shyam Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo Ki Jai. Shri Purushottam Dham Ki Jai. Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Jo Ki Jai. Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shina Shingadev Ki Jai. Bhakti Prabhara Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hare. So tomorrow I go to Mexico, but I'll be back on August 6th, which is the disappearance day of Rupa Goswami. It's also the disappearance day of Ramai Archaniketan Das Brahmachari. So I'll be back for that day.
What time?
I think in the morning, but so.
And Maharaj, what time do you leave tomorrow?